One of the top actors would not kiss her during this scene because she was too young.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, for Hollywood, it's like a little bit of faith in that. But in the details, she was 21 at the time, and it was Jeff Bridges,
Oh, wow.
and he was 43. But even at that, he wouldn't kiss her for the scene because he felt she was too young.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So it was a little bit of
Yeah.
restoring a little faith in Hollywood.
Yeah, and well, there are individuals in Hollywood that I think haven't been tainted or swayed by the perversity and everything else that's found in Hollywood and everywhere.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah.
For Hollywood, I mean, you get caught up in that decadence. It's.
Yeah, but there's a few actors that you can tell are definitely not, have been drawn into that. Because you never hear about them, you never hear about scandals, and then some of them are openly, they come out against that.
Yeah.
And Denzel Washington, I think, one, and there's so many others too. There are others, but you think about actors, Keanu Reeves, who just so solid. You hear so many stories about him, and you watch his interactions with female actors and
just people in general.
Yeah,
we hear so often about the bad things, but there are some good things there too.
Yeah, definitely. So Beetlejuice,
Yes.
Beetlejuice. How is this looking?
It's actually really, really good.
Yeah.
Good movie. I was extremely pleasantly surprised.
Oh, so wait, you watched it? You saw it? Did you see it?
No.
You saw some bits and pieces?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I was like looking at it and like reading some reviews ahead of time and a little bit nervous, but it looks great. And I looked at some more of the cast this morning and
Great cast. Michael Keaton back for this one. This is going to be a big one. Yes, this is going to be good.
Danny DeVito's in the
and
cast.
fun. It's a PG-13. Still kind of more.
So
I think I had on the light side of a PG-13.
yeah, and this one, Beetlejuice.
Yes.
So will the next one? It'll be Beetlejuice.
It would be cool if they made a next one. I don't know. I don't know if that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
But it would be weird to have a 30-year gap and then what like maybe a 2-year gap after? Like,
yeah.
They were joking this morning that they had to wait for Jenna Ortega to be born to make the second one.
Well, that's interesting as well because she's playing a high school student, but she's in her 20s as well, right?
She doesn't look it.
Doesn't look it. Looks young, and she's a great actress.
She's taking off. Yeah.
Doing well. But as you said, Winona Ryder in this one, Michael Keaton, Willem Dafoe, Danny DeVito, and Jenna Ortega. So yeah.
And a movie like Beetlejuice is where like Tim Burton really gets to shine his Tim Burtonness,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. It's in reviews so far. Yeah, like you said, 86% audience reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. So that's good to see.
Where are we at on the critics?
What do you think?
I will say the critics didn't seem to like it, and that was why I was initially pretty nervous for it. But I'm gonna say 75.
75?
I was going to go 72.
Yeah,
77. So Nathan,
That's not
right?
bad at
Yeah.
all. Yeah,
So that's not horrible.
good.
It's
I
not,
wanted to go lower.
Yeah.
Definitely above average.
Yeah. Because the critics can be pretty tough,
this-
especially on movies that are just made to entertain.
Yes.
And this is made to purely entertain.
These are fun movies.
Moviegoers.
Yeah.
We go out and have fun watching the film.
Yeah, so you don't want to take it too seriously or expect, I don't know, it to be this grand thing that critics rave about. It's Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
So it's gonna, as long as it's funny,
I think they are proud of this film as well because I've been noticing, around different businesses that they're like Denny's has a Beetlejuice, like a whole Beetlejuice menu right now.
Oh wow.
And,
okay.
And so it seems like they're really trying to push this one and get it out in front of people.
That's
And
the
give
marketing.
people-
The marketing is solid.
Yeah.
And I think it's one that get it in front of people. Let them know what's
and to have that history, to have the following or just the the success of a first Beetlejuice. I mean, that's pretty iconic Beetlejuice,
yeah,
where
definitely.
you know Michael Keaton's character Beetlejuice and the just his voice and everything, and the suit, and yeah.
And then just to bring it back 30 years later, and it's really cool to see that.
It is cool. Yeah, the little tiny head man still. That's a shrunken head.
Yeah, and
dude.
sometimes they do these sequels that aren't really necessary, and you kind of wonder why they're doing them. And for instance, The Crow left yesterday, and that'd be a great example of a sequel they shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But this one, I feel like, you know, you take 30 years of time to let a story develop in between there to tell. I think it's probably a good move, you know.
Yeah. And that one, we were talking about that a little bit, you know, last week or the week prior, The Crow, and just, you know, how dark. It was dark, and all the darkness surrounding that movie, and Brandon Lee dying.
Yeah,
you
had
know,
that
on the
extra.
set, and, you know, just the dark, it was a dark movie, so to do another one, you know, dark, where this one, a fun, light, comedy,
Yes.
I think maybe easier to pull off,
Oh,
you
for
know,
sure.
versus, you know, doing a second Crow.
Yeah. Also, I was looking this morning that they've been trying to get somebody to be the Crow for a long time. I heard it was Mark Wahlberg and then Bradley Cooper, and then at
Jason
one time
Momoa.
in 2018 it was Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa.
They've been trying to get this going for a long time, and then it seems, but it was Lionsgate, right? That produced.
Yes, it's Lionsgate.
Yeah.
It seems like
Distributed,
Lionsgate eventually got the distributing rights and made this one.
Yeah, but wow, when those actors like turn the role down, or they just
Jason Momoa in particular had done like screen testing and all that sort of stuff and was getting pretty far into it. And Bradley Cooper really wanted the role and things like that. So I think it's, you know, because it's a bunch of different stories and a bunch of attempts to make a production of it, that there's a bunch of different reasons they fell out, but ultimately.
The last 5 years, obviously, the last 5 years for theaters has been difficult. You know, with COVID in 20, and then, you know, there was a writer's strike and then an actor's strike both. So those things will, you know, can derail a project real quick.
And I feel like we are kind of seeing the last of the films that kind of were made during that strike. Like I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like Borderlands was like that
I think
too.
we're past it.
Past
We're
it.
past it, and it's
Okay.
well, I think looking at, you know, this summer and looking, you know, moving forward here, the quality of films is
It's been improved a lot, yeah.
It has, and that's why you know, The Crow kind of, I think, stands out even more, because there were so many like really successful films. The films, you know, Disney kind of coming back, and Marvel, right? Marvel with Wolverine,
Deadpool,
Deadpool, Wolverine.
Yeah,
And so then to see The Crow just kind of like tank.
Well, that was Lionsgate had, well, they did Borderlands too.
Oh,
Borderlands and The Crow 2 weeks apart, and they both
tanked.
failed terribly. Yeah.
Something I read and saw about Borderlands, which kind of really rubbed me the wrong way. The designer who went through and made the model and made it be able to be moved around and everything like that for Claptrap, the guy who made Claptrap for the movie, is not credited. And he was predominantly responsible for making that a functioning character.
So yeah, Borderlands critics 10%, and the critics for The Crow like 23.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and then audience ratings on Rotten Tomatoes for Borderlands 53, and The Crow like 60, low 60s. So just both films.
And those both had a following going into it, so for the audiences to be that down on them, that's a bad sign.
But
I will
not
say,
Beetlejuice.
you do have to recognize the success of it going, Borderlands in particular, going from a 6% audience score to a 53% audience
At
score.
least they got double digit. I don't know, that's, But Beetlejuice rated PG-13, Showtime's 115, 415, 715, and that one liked by critics and audiences alike. So a movie that came in, I think it was last week, Reagan? Did that come in last week?
Yeah, last week, yes.
Rated PG-13, and that one has been doing very good.
Very, very well.
Done really good up here.
Nice.
Payson's really enjoyed that film.
Everybody's really liking it. Coming out pretty excited.
And that film, how, let me see, what's the length on that film there?
Just a little over 2 hours.
A little over 2 hours, so not too bad.
2 hours and 5 minutes or something.
This one, another, oh golly, Rotten Tomatoes. I love looking at, movie scores to see.
Interesting.
Yeah, because what would you say the audience rating on Reagan is?
83.
83?
I was also gonna say 83, so I'm gonna go for an 87, just to give us some
87?
space.
Yeah, 98.
Whoa.
98, so it's not just pacing. I mean, Reagan, people everywhere are loving Reagan. 98% audience score. Critics, what do you say?
I am really feeling a 47.
47?
33.
I'll tell you this, the critics rated The Crow higher than Reagan.
Oh.
So
Whoa.
21.
Wow.
Where Crow got like 23.
That
So
seems
it's
maybe
crazy.
a little
Isn't that a little extreme? I
Seems
mean,
a little politicized.
And this
there.
is where I, like looking at this and just seeing when there's that large disparity between audience, what just the regular folks like us rate it, and critics, 21. Isn't that insane? Yeah. So, but hey, you just have to know that the people that are going to see it, the normal people, they love
Very
it.
excited, yeah.
They love it. And
It's just been far and away our #1 picture.
Oh
Wow.
yeah. As soon as it came in, we had a lot of people come in on Labor Day for it, and a lot of people on our Tuesday too. And
We're happy about these. September is normally one of the worst months for film. But we've been, with Reagan, that really kind of gave us a boost there. Now with Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice is
I'll
gonna,
tell you, that's another
it's
one's
gonna
going to
give
really
us a
good.
pretty
We've got
good
some kids stuff coming up too. There's a Transformers film coming out next week.
Oh yes.
Oh, wow.
That's
Okay.
an animated and rated PG. So for the kids, not the Michael Bay blowing things up, but more for the younger crowd.
Imagine that it'll still have a lot of animated things blowing up as well.
DreamWorks has a Wild Robot coming up here in a couple weeks.
Oh.
That
Okay.
one looks really interesting too.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
looks very cute and beautiful.
And getting back, Reagan, really good cast in Reagan too. Really good cast. And the actor, I know I've seen him in different movies, but the one that plays Gorbachev, I think, is that who he plays? Oleg Krupa. And he's been in, different movies, usually a bad guy. And it's Dennis Quaid, obviously, playing Reagan, John Voight.
John Boyd. Oh, yeah, John Boyd.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Kevin Sorbo, C. Thomas Howell. Yeah, it's good. And Penelope Ann Miller.
See, I don't know how Angelina Jolie came from John Boyd.
Yeah, that's looking. I don't know. That's funny. Yeah.
Father.
Yeah, father.
It is.
Yeah.
It is always hard to remember that the way that everybody in Hollywood gets, their names changed and stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah, different names. So Reagan, solid. Just 98. That's amazing on Rotten Tomatoes. So that PG-13 and showing 12:30, 3:30, and 6:30. Then let me see. Blink Twice. Blink Twice been doing?
I have only heard good things.
Kind of okay. It hasn't really
Yeah?
it's been
Yeah.
a real barn burner.
Yeah.
The subject matter is a little rough.
Uh-huh.
You
What is
kinda-
this one?
This one, a rich tech billionaire wines and dines a lady and then asks if she'd like to come to his billion-dollar island.
Oh, that's never a good thing.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
some-
that's
Yeah.
not, there's some creepy stuff.
It had some Jeffrey Epstein
Yeah.
vibes to it.
Yeah, and so the plot that it explains is that everybody is just always so happy and always having a great time the whole time they're there, but something is happening that none of them can remember.
So is Channing Tatum he's the creep?
He's the creep. He's the main creep.
Wow. How is he? Is he creepy in this one? Does he do a good job being
Apparently,
creepy?
everybody. So I haven't gotten a chance to watch this one yet,
Yeah.
but everybody I talked to who has watched it wants to watch it again and talks about
Wow.
how creepy it is, and yeah.
Because also in this movie, Christian Slater, I could see him being the creepy one. He's played some good creepy roles.
Yeah,
you know.
I imagine there's going to be multiple creepy ones.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Haley Joel Osment is in it
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, I saw him, okay.
I like him.
Yeah.
He's fun to see.
Zoe Kravitz.
That's the
This one?
director.
Is that her director?
Screenwriter.
It might be her.
Screenwriter and producer. And director.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's
Screenwriter.
That's her baby.
Isn't that Channing
Wow.
Tatum's wife? I'm not exactly sure about that.
I think they're dating.
They're
I don't know
dating.
if they're married or not.
His performance must have been good.
Yeah, but definitely Lenny's daughter,
Yeah.
Lenny Kravitz.
Kravitz, yeah.
Yeah, so, wow. And Naomi Aki as Frida. But this one, yeah, the scores, yeah, decent, not, like you
Yeah,
said,
not-
decent. The audience 69,
Mm.
critics 73. So, you
That's
know,
critics
it's
really
like
liked it.
yeah, critics liked it.
It's kind of the subject matter kind
Yeah.
of turns some people off.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound like the sort of film you want to see twice.
Yeah. It is rated R, and showtimes are 1, 4, and 7 on Blink Twice.
So just to give you a little pushback, Craig, the people I've talked to said that they do want to see it twice because they feel like they're missing a
On this
bunch.
stuff.
So I also think that it's one of those things that maybe that there's a big reveal at the end, and then if you get a chance to rewatch it, you can kind of see it all unravel in real time.
People that like, yeah. So, yeah, you can see if if there's a lot of those little twists or maybe
Mhm.
little things that you don't catch.
Yeah.
And then you have that, you know, at the end, that reveal, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, wait, how did I miss that? How did I not see it?
I've heard that it's kind of like fast-paced.
Hmm,
Kinda like
gotcha.
that. Moves by quick.
Gotcha. Another movie, let me see, Afraid, rated PG-13, and this one, yeah, you guys, yeah, this one, along the lines of Borderlands. And,
Oh, really?
Yeah, and what's the other movie that?
The Crow.
The Crow. Yeah, it's right in there with The Crow, even a little
You know,
worse.
this is Blumhouse. You know,
Yeah.
they kind of specialize in these sort of low-budget horror films. You know, we've talked about them before.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Megan, films like that. And,
Yeah.
yeah, this one, I guess they just kind of missed on it. It's kind of a, you know, sci-fi horror thriller, I guess, but
Mhm.
as it's artificial intelligence, you know, the
Gotcha.
kind of taking over the house and
Yeah.
running things.
Uh-huh,
Saying
so.
she's the new mother, those sort of things.
Oh, I'm the new mother.
Yeah.
So produced on a reported budget of $12 million.
Yeah.
So again, these
That's
lower
Blumhouse,
budget.
yeah.
So 12 million, and then let's see what it did at the box office, what it's done so far.
It's gonna be interesting.
No.
6.8 million
Oh.
worldwide. So this is uncharted waters for these guys, because usually
Yes.
they're like
They're
$10
meeting it,
million
yeah.
films, and they're making 40, 50,
That opening weekend's big for them, yeah.
Yeah.
This one just didn't get there.
Wow.
They did Megan not too long ago. That was, you know, the little doll that was.
Yeah. Oh,
it's
yeah.
artificial intelligence again.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they came in too quick with this one to.
Yeah, you know, it does seem really interesting, the part in the trailer where it seems like it all starts to break down. There's a high school girl who sends some pictures to her boyfriend, and then her boyfriend posts them on the internet, and she's like, oh, don't worry, I took the videos off the internet, and I will take care of him next. And then
Oh.
it cuts to her taking over the controls of his car.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Megan, 181 million worldwide.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, I know. And then Megan, how much cost to make that? How much?
Same thing. Yeah.
12 million.
15 minutes. 12 million.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you can afford a few stinkers if that's what you
So,
manage to do.
you know, this one, they're bumming a little, but it's not the end of the world for those
No,
guys,
not for
because
Blumhouse,
after
yeah.
making 180
You know, on a $12 million budget,
Wow.
they'll make it back. It might take them a little bit here once it hits streaming or something, but
Yeah.
12 million, I mean, it sounds like a lot to normal
I-
people, but in Hollywood terms, that's really nothing.
I also
Yeah.
don't know if this is a projection of mine, but it does seem to me that people are kind of, like, over the past couple years, just bombarded with AI conversation and talk and thought, and it's like, oh, maybe I'm bored. Maybe I don't want to go see artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it all on my phone every day when I see a Mickey
Yeah.
Mouse cross
Yeah.
with Goofy or whatever.
Here's, one of the actors in this, though, interesting, Keith Carradine. So son of David Carradine.
Yeah.
Yeah, David Carradine's son, Keith Carradine. He's in this movie, so yeah.
Remember Kung Fu?
Oh yeah, David Carradine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kung Fu. Oh.
They talked about making that into a movie too. They quite got there.
That would be interesting. That would be, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that does.
You know what Kung Fu is, Nathan?
No, I actually don't.
Oh, but you have to, there you
A little,
go. It's, yeah,
a
you
little
need
more,
to show them that Kung Fu. Still in theaters, two big hits. Twisters, which, man, that's still?
Yes,
Yeah,
still
yeah,
going.
it's our number 2 movie last week,
Our
right?
number 2, and it's still top 5 in the country.
Yeah.
Wow, Twisters.
Yeah, you have Glenn Powell, and you know, it's a fun movie. It's a
is.
PG-13.
Mhm. So it's like a family friendly for the
Yeah, and you know, of course, the special effects and everything.
Yeah.
Oh.
The tornadoes are just they're terrifying, and you kind of get to get that feeling.
And
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's like, oh, on the big screen and with the
Yeah.
surround sound, it's gonna feel and look a lot different.
Oh yeah, it's definitely worth seeing, and you want to see this in the theater
Mhm.
compared to at home. It's just
Yeah. Because
that much more
tornadoes might just pop out the screen at the theater.
yeah, it's cool. The truck too. The truck he has with the drills down
Yeah.
and secures, and yeah.
And
it's
I
pretty
like
wild.
their little drone systems that they use
Yeah.
to like suck up into the tornadoes, the
Yeah.
sensors or whatever they are.
Yeah,
Really
pretty,
cool.
Pretty wild. So and yeah, just an all around good movie. I mean,
Still-
kind of
still-
edgy,
it's still going.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to put into perspective, Deadpool didn't do as many here as Twister did last week.
Wow.
Yeah, Twisters is one of those. You say it has legs.
Yeah.
Just hanging in there.
Mm-hmm. So, Twisters, let's see at the box office what this has done.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I would expect that it is probably doing great. At the. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Let's see. 262 million in the United States. So 363 worldwide.
Wow.
363 million worldwide. How much money did it take to make? How much money? No. And let's see, how much did it take to make this? I'll look that up. But wow, yeah, 363 million is really good.
That's-
Yeah.
Probably around 150 to make it. I
I
think.
think 150,
Yeah.
155. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, there you go. So over doubled that. Yeah.
I will say, 360 million is a lot, but then you look at the billion that Deadpool has made. This.
Yeah,
It's
so
kinda
that's
like, oof.
the final movie at Sawmill Theatres showing right now, Deadpool and Wolverine, rated R. And if you haven't seen that, then
You got to.
you're one of the few. Because I think the majority of the country has.
That one is kind of coming to an end here. We'll see if it hangs on through next week or not. But
It's
if
worth
you
it.
haven't seen it, definitely get out and catch that one.
And it's worth a rewatch too, because you know these Deadpool movies are just crammed with as many jokes as possible. And I think I've managed to see it 2 or 3 times now, and I've found something new to laugh at each time, because I was like, oh, I missed that because I was laughing at the joke before it.
Lots of little things in it too, and the
Yeah.
one in the background, they got Liefeld shoes. Rob
Yeah.
Liefeld is the artist that originally did Deadpool
Oh, wow.
back in the 90s.
Wow.
Yeah.
And yeah, going over $1 billion, 200 million to make it, and then they said 100 million they put into marketing, so like 300 million. And what's the current? It went over $1 billion, the box office, and wow. Let's see, Ireland. So this doesn't say, it's talking about Ireland, how it's doing in Ireland and the UK. But yeah, over $1 billion. And it did end up the highest grossing rated R film of all time. Right?
Wow.
Yeah,
So,
so,
kind of bad news. The other one, the R-rated film that did really big money was Joker. People have started to watch that one, and
Oh,
so far it's been a little bit off on that one. So
Hmm.
we'll have to see how that one comes through.
I wonder if it's because, there was a real creepy, weird element to that first Joker one, and I wonder if they tried to capture that, but I've also heard that they tried to make this one more of like a musical.
Yeah, I think they went a little maybe too weird.
Too weird.
oh,
I think I might enjoy the weird attempts and takes and all of that, but I'd imagine that not all audiences would.
Well, they kind of touch with Joker on this one, on how he's a little more, unstable. And it's some of the stuff in the movie is just in his head, he's
Yeah, yes, he's an
part of-
unreliable narrator.
So right
There you
now,
go.
Deadpool and Wolverine, $1.266 billion worldwide.
They've almost made $1 billion profit.
Inside Out, $1.668
Yes.
billion
Whoa.
worldwide.
So, yeah, we had two of the top 10 films.
Yeah.
This summer.
Yeah.
Wow,
And
wow.
both of them Disney.
And Despicable
Yeah.
Me 4 knocking on the $1 billion door. 913, but 913 million
Is it still
worldwide.
technically still in theaters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we might
Actually,
get there.
Universal re-released it
Oh,
over
that is-
Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, it'll take a while, but they might eventually get there to the 1
They
billion.
gotta be happy with.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Wow. So, yeah, and Twisters, not bad. In the top 10, $363 million worldwide.
And, Mufasa still hasn't come out, like we were just talking about, Joker hasn't come out yet.
Mhm.
Moana 2 hasn't come out. Moana 2 is probably gonna do really good too.
The one that gets me, I'm a little surprised, Bad Boys Ride or Die, 7, the number 7 this year,
Wow.
$403 million worldwide.
Yeah, I remember when
It's
that,
impressive.
a lot of
Will
people
Smith
were.
is forgiven.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of the impression I got. I will say that this fourth Bad Boys movie comes right after the third Bad Boys movie, which I don't think that one did as well. Because that one kind of was a COVID release, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
and the movies that it's like, wow, I thought it would be up there. So this is the 2024 worldwide box office numbers. Alien, Romulus, 290 million, so number 10. Where that one, it was like,
It was so
the
good.
expectations were a little higher, for that one. And then,
Those alien films are rough though.
Um,
They're rated R. And
yeah.
And they are competing
they're
right now
creepy
with
and-
some of
Yeah.
They're creepy and
yeah. And
Yeah.
then The Fall Guy, which it was a good movie, and what's his name? Ryan Reynolds? Not Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan
Ryan
Gosling. Usually, maybe
Yeah,
draw,
that
but
was-
that one,
yeah, that was supposed to be so every year that kid, the first week in May,
yeah.
Hollywood puts out a big film.
Yeah,
That
and
kind
that
of
was
kicks
supposed
off
to be
it,
it.
and that was the one, and it,
And the marketing, they did a lot of marketing for that.
there was a lot of
Saw
hype
it
on that film.
everywhere, the hype, and,
I just watched it again last week.
yeah.
It was completely okay.
It was completely okay.
Like how you put that, Greg.
It wasn't great.
The Garfield movie did more than The Fall Guy. But here's the one that
Oh,
really
that's not
surprised
surprising.
me. But here's the one that is surprising. Number 18, Furiosa, Mad Max Saga. So the Garfield movie has done more than
Yeah,
Furiosa.
Furiosa was another kind of, you want to call it
I
failure.
think-
I mean, it made money, but
I think that one, I don't think it had an initial pop, but I think it had like a steady coming later. I think that people didn't know what to expect, but I
Mhm.
think that once people actually started going in theaters and enjoying it, I think it kind of got a
You
little
gotta-
bit more of an audience bump. But
George Miller
Yeah.
is just a lunatic. I mean, some of the things he puts on film are
Yeah.
just unbelievable. So many of those vehicles, they
So cool.
made these vehicles. They like take two Cadillacs and stack them on top of
Man.
each other and then throw some 10-foot wheels on there and
Mm-hmm.
Man, if I have all of those in my front yard. if I was him.
then jet around the desert chasing people. It's
Yeah.
it's pretty incredible and I don't know, maybe too soon.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe too soon. I will say that the like
For-
watching it
for
like
Fury Road.
it's really good, but the I don't know, the whole Chris Hemsworth plot line and Furiosa's whole story, it all kind of feels smashed together in a way. It doesn't flow
Fury Road was terribly good though too.
Oh
So
my gosh, that one was
that might have been a
amazing.
little bit of a disappointment coming off of that. Sometimes it's hard to follow up on
Yeah.
a big film like that.
And Crow, The Crow, sitting at number 75, 18 million. Where, wow.
And it's pretty much done. There's not a lot more coming in on that film.
Yeah, I mean,
Everybody's dumped in that one.
yeah, so very, I know, disappointing has to be for those guys. And man,
It's
yeah.
we talked about that one. It's hard to follow up on a movie like that. It's kind
Mhm.
of the first
Yeah.
Crow with the you know, the criminal guys that are, you know, running around and swallowing bullets and,
Yeah.
you know, fire it up, fire it up. I mean, it was just so weird and quirky
Yeah.
and, but it worked.
And there was so much nostalgia and like some of the creepiest, weirdest choices. Sometimes they had to make some choices because they didn't have Brendan Lee anymore, and I think it all just made something that's kind of irreplaceable sort of thing.
Wow. So there we go. So coming soon. Let's see. You mentioned a few, but it's good to
Transformers.
yeah, Transformers. Speak No Evil.
Speaking of evil.
That
Speak No
trailer's been
Evil.
really calling my name. It was
Yeah,
very interesting.
September 13th, Transformers, September 20th. So there we go. Well, cool. So yeah, Sawmill Theatres still closed on Wednesdays.
Wednesday,
all
closed
right?
Wednesdays.
Just
We got
closed
our
Wednesdays.
Discount Tuesdays though.
There we go.
$5 before 6 o'clock and $8 after 6.
There we go, and there we go. So Sawmill Theatres, and check out the website sawmilltheatres.com for all the movies that are showing and show times, and just watch the trailer too on the movies. So cool. All right. Well, thank you guys, and
All right,
thank you
thank you.
everyone listening and watching. Time to get back to music with some In Excess, Fine Young Cannibals, and Led Zeppelin. Thank you to One Time Plumber for sponsoring our Community Spotlight program. And hope you guys have a great weekend. Also, the Northern Gila County Fair starts today. 9 a.m. is when it opened up. Kids are free, so head on out there. And then there's stuff going on tonight. Goat roping at 7 o'clock. And some live music from the Donnie Grubb Band. Also, Longhorn football that we'll be live streaming. Kickoffs at 7 o'clock. Home game tonight against the Page Sand Devils. So come on out to Longhorn Stadium if you can. All right, guys, we'll see you later, and have a great weekend.
With this morning's KRIM weather
Quick
forecast,
question.
incidents around areas
The
of
county fair,
meteorologists.
Yeah.
is it like
See you guys.